We now know that, yes, our universe began 13.8 billion years ago, but instead of a chaotic Big Bang, it began, as I describe it, as the first moment of an exquisitely fine-tuned, amazingly ordered and meaningful big breath, an ongoing big breath.
Now, why I'm so excited to talk with you is that, I've spoken through the course of Insights at the Edge. I've done almost 1,000 interviews at this point with people who have the kind of multidimensional access that you're describing, but not a single one who has the cosmological background research and intelligence that you have. So putting this all together is what I'm really excited about. And I'd like to understand, when you talk about the big breath and renaming the Big Bang, the big breath, why that's important, how that changes our view of what we're doing here.
I think it really does change our view. And the reason is, I guess, as you said, when you were at school, when I was at school, kids still at school are still taught that our universe began with a Big Bang. And we know it wasn't big, that was just a facetious name. But when we use the word bang, it's implicit that it's chaotic. It was an explosion, really random, without meaning. And that's been the cosmology that we grew up with, that our universe began a long time ago. We now know something like 13.8 billion years as a Big Bang. So the whole cosmology, the whole way in which we view the world, seen through that paradigm of science, is a world without meaning or purpose, beginning with a chaotic Big Bang, somehow evolving from simplicity to complexity, somehow with consciousness arising from brains way down the line, but essentially all of it as part of a random unfolding. And now that's being turned completely on its head. We now know that, yes, our universe began 13.8 billion years ago, but instead of a chaotic Big Bang, it began, as I describe it, as the first moment of an exquisitely fine-tuned, amazingly ordered and meaningful big breath, an ongoing big breath. So ever since, as space has expanded and time's flowed from past to present to future, that big breath of our universe has continued. And so our universe is being shown with evidence at all scales of existence now and across many fields of research to meaningfully exist and purposefully evolve. So when we talk about the big breath, not only does it embody that meaning and purpose, but it also brings that vastness of our universe's big breath breathing through us in every moment of our breath. So it brings that incredible story of our universe into intimate relationship through our breath. And that's why it feels that it has such an aha potential to really experience that relationship and that knowing that if our universe has innate meaning and evolutionary purpose, so do we.
There's so much here, Jude, and I'm a little nervous, to be honest, that I'm going to sound highly uneducated about astronomy, cosmology, and the truth is I am, but I want to ask you my really genuine questions and trust in that, which is something, whether it's the Big Bang or the Big Breath, a place where my understanding goes into fuzzy, existential confusion and a kind of angst is like, so what was there before? How does something come from nothing? How does a breath start when there wasn't a breath? And I wonder what your understanding is of that.
It's a perfectly appropriate question. It's a question we're still asking. As cosmologists, we don't have the answer. As someone who has played in the nature of consciousness all my life, I would suggest that we can reframe our universe from being a great object to what Edwardian scientist Sir James Jeans called a great thought. So our universe is a great thought, a finite thought in the infinite and eternal mind of God, of great spirit, of great mystery, of cosmos, of cosmic mind. And again, this is how the ancient Indian sages perceived the nature of reality, that mind and consciousness aren't something we have. They're literally what we and the whole world are. So their description is of an infinite, eternal cosmos. And from that cosmos, they would have not defined in these terms, but I actually believe they understood this in their sense. Thoughts that we call universes arise. And in that infinity and eternity, they arise in a way that enables our universe as a great thought to exist and evolve in a meaningful way from simplicity to complexity and as a whole unified entity. Literally, you can't separate within a thought. You can't separate anything out. It is the wholeness of that thought. It is that continuation of that thought, whether it's what am I going to have for breakfast to, oh my gosh, I'm in love with this person. It's a thought. And the way that we think are microcosms, microcosmic co-creators of the universe's thought, the great thought that is our universe.